So hi guys, as you can see by the beginning of the video, something did happen, but we'll come back to that a little bit later. I went down to Canvas Sands to meet my sister and a few of her horse buddies, and while I was there I was just videoing a few things like the microlight going over, the fishing boat going out. There they are on the horses, a few other horse riders on the beach as well, plus families enjoying themselves. Tide was coming back in, but you know, it was going okay. As you can see there, the Rx10 for some reason was lacking behind on the autofocus for a moment, but it soon locked back on, which was strange. There they are, just trotting in the water, giving the horses a bit of a cool down. And you know, this camera can do and does very, very well at high speed stuff, especially dogs running with the eye autofocus and everything like that, 24 photos per second. So, you know, even with the fastest cameras out there today, like something like the Sony A1, the Rx10 Mark IV isn't far behind really in the real world. It works so well. You get the choice of picking that perfect moment, you know, with all 4 feet off the ground on the horse galloping. You know, back in the old days of film, you might get one every few hundred shots, or just like today, just pick as many as you like. Multiple shots with ease. Just that perfect little splash or whatever works really well. And again, to your right hand side, another horse with all 4 feet off the ground, galloping down about 40 miles an hour or so along the beach. And again, and that's how easy it is today with the modern technology. It works really well. The autofocus is very quick, obviously not quite as fast as the real new stuff, but it is a 4-year-old camera now. It was a really lovely evening actually, and you know, I was just down there snapping photos of the horses galloping around. There's my sister there. Only trouble with the Rx10 is you can't zoom out when you are taking shots, which is a real shame. So hopefully one day we may get something that's a little bit different, and you know, it allows us to actually have maybe a manual zoom lens. Absolutely brilliant for reflections that evening. So 24mm at wide angle, and basically shooting like so. 600mm f4, horse galloping towards me, 4 feet off the ground again. It's that easy now. It's you know, it creates and allows, and that's how sharp the images are coming out of the camera. I very rarely sharpen anything too much. I mean, a little bit maybe, but very rarely do I need to do much. Another wide angle shot there, and the reflection of the horse and rider in the water there. Really lovely evening. Like I say, it was quite warm, a little bit of a breeze, and you know, I was allowed to I could actually get the shots, and the light was beautiful. As you can see, a lovely sharp shot. Obviously you haven't got full frame, so your depth of field isn't quite as shallow, especially wide angle, but it does help you get the shot. So you know, and obviously at 600mm there, if I was using a full frame, my sister in the back there would probably be out of focus, but in that shot, because we've got a 1-inch sensor, it allows a little bit more depth and allows us to get the shots we want. It actually makes it easier sometimes for us. So that is one benefit of a 1-inch sensor. As you can see there, all 4 feet off the ground. And this was quite cool, just a black and white shot of a footprint in the sand. It looked really quite interesting, I thought, and almost a bit abstract. This is the dynamic range test, so high shutter speed there, and the next shot is just a little bit of push on the shadows, so you can bring out the details of the riders and everything quite easily. So it is quite usable. As you can see here, seagulls flying around everywhere. It just locks on, no problem whatsoever, even almost out of shot as such. Alright guys, so behind me is an old, I think it's an old church or something like that. Anyway, the sun's about to go down through it hopefully. So I've got the Sony Rx10 Mark IV with me. My hair is a mess, need a haircut. Just been down the beach with my sister. She's been out on a horse. It's going to get worse. So some nice beach shots as well with the Rx10. So there'll be some action shots in this video. Just basically going to have a look. It's not long before it goes down, so I'm just going to keep an eye on it. There's an old church thingy there. There you go. I think you can just about see it. Looks pretty cool. Not much great on the phone, but get some 600mm on it in a minute. So we've got some power lines just above. I don't know if you can hear that crackling noise. There's also tractors doing stuff. I think they're, what they're doing over there. Something. Let's have a look. Where is he? There. Oh, I think watering his drop or something. I don't know what it's doing. Oh, hay baling. That's pretty cool. So, anyway, back to this. We're going to end up with something like that, hopefully. Get a bit closer. Looks quite cool now, if anything. But I think it's an old, like a church or a barn originally or something. I'll have to do a bit of investigation, but it's been there for years, driven past it loads of times. You can see all the bugs as well. The only trouble is, the cloud's there, so we may end up with a ruined shot. So if I get the shots now, as you can see there, like if I go in on the sun, you can see there's a lot of cloud cover there as well. So that sun might disappear very, very soon. Don't really know. We'll see. It might be really, really cool, but we'll keep snapping. I know some sort of like teepees or something behind the thing, so I walked out into the field to the left to get them out into the shot as well, which is quite cool. But as you can see there, the sun is slowly disappearing behind that cloud, which is thicker lower down. So I've got some good shots already, so hopefully they worked out. But it's just about being in the right place, right time. I kind of knew this was, well, I knew it was here, but I had to try and remember which road it was down. And I knew, hopefully, if I was at the right angle, which I am, that I could get a shot. So, well worth just driving down here for a few minutes just to see. And then let's carry on, mess around, and still snap some more shots. Hoping to see a barn owl, but I'm not sure if I'll spot one, but we shall see. There you go, a couple of shots here. You can see anywhere between 500 and 600 millimeters, f4 to f5.6, anywhere up to around about 1/8000th of a second, and ISO 100 generally. Worked quite nicely. Only editing really done was either a crop in or just in the raw conversion, just literally tweak the blacks just to bring down the silhouette a little bit more, just to make it a little bit more silhouette-y. Worked quite nicely. I love the clouds and everything. Just worked, just worked as an imagery. I'm so glad I actually stopped and made the most of it. Yeah, so managed to capture a few shots. It dwindled into nothing really. It's a shame, but who knows? It might be the sky might go a nice colour shortly. I'm not sure, but got some cool shots of the sun going down, but just before it went behind the clouds. So anyway, right, onwards to another location. Not sure where, but wherever the road takes me, we shall see. I thought I was wide. He definitely takes up the whole lane. Blimey. Common harvesters out just back there. Pretty cool. Right guys, I'm just sat here waiting for it to get a bit darker. It's not quite dark enough. I've got the Iwata light with me. So it means I can start messing around doing some sort of light painting and stuff like that with the car. Thought it'd be quite cool. So we can have a bit of a mess around. And, see what colours look good. Things like that. So a bit more of a spooky red number. But yeah, we'll have a little play and see what's doable. There goes a train. I'm out in the middle of nowhere on a bend, so there's a kind of a cool road. It's just like it's a thin narrow lane, and I thought on the bend there's a little bit of a lay-by, so I've parked out off the road, but it gives a nice sweeping bend to the shot as well, so it could be quite cool. Just need to be a bit darker really. The sun's gone now, so maybe I have to wait another half hour or something. I've got a few snacks, so I'm gonna have a drink and a few snacks while I wait and have a little experiment and see how it goes. So I'll be back shortly. Probably shouldn't use that mode on the light. That's get myself pulled over for impersonating a police car. Yeah, I won't be using that. It's a train. Does the camera and phone will focus? Not very well. This is the kind of thing that we're probably going to be doing, is making the car. The phone's not dealing with us very well, but you know, we can have whatever colour we want really. So should be interesting. Going to set the camera up and have a little play. Hi guys, so this is basically what I would have been doing, just messing around, experimentation. So you do a bit of light painting further away so I'm not in camera, and then come down the side of the car like so, and then to get light painting, which is in shape, we'll be doing things like this behind the car, or like a heart shape, something like that. You know, just messing around really, just experimenting, and you know, whatever colour you fancy really, or we can mix colours during the exposure, stuff like that really. So as you can see here, a couple of shots with the Rx10 Mark IV. Just with the light there, the Iwata light, the Master S. Worked quite nicely actually. These are literally just a mess around, literally experimentation to see how it came out, especially with the Rx10, just to see how capable it was with dealing with low light and also light painting and long exposures. So I was doing 30-second exposures here, just having a little play. This one was my favourite one with the heart. It just worked really nicely actually. So, driving home after having a really good evening, things took a turn for the worst, and driving down this old road here, which you can see is quite all over the place. So I generally drive down the middle. Sounds crazy, but I'm only doing sort of 55 miles an hour, not speeding, and basically I make the most of obviously the road space. So if anything does run out in front of me, like a fox or an animal or anything like that, or something's in the road, I'm not basically going to hopefully cause an issue. There's a river to the left and a river to the right, so it's not a good road to lose control on. And unfortunately, there had been an accident here trying to miss an animal, and the car ended up on its roof. Luckily, everyone who was involved was totally fine, apart from a couple of grazes and cuts. Unfortunately, the car looked basically written off, but it held up well and actually protected the occupants. I've blurred it all out just because you don't need to know who people are, just a bit of privacy really, but luckily no one was hurt at all, luckily, apart from, like I say, a couple of little scuffs and scratches and a cut. But yeah, so basically I ended up stopping and making sure everyone was okay, waited till the police, ambulance and everything turned up, to check things out, and then basically headed home. Luckily, like I say, everyone was alright, and it just shows you that anything can happen on the way home from somewhere, so obviously drive safely, and just be aware of your surroundings, and obviously make sure your car is in tip-top condition as well. So so basically I waited till the police turned up and obviously made sure everything was okay, and headed home after that about an hour or so later. So yeah, it was one of those things. I just sort of document it a little bit, as it's something that's obviously happened, and so anyway, it was a great evening up until that point, but it did obviously wake up everyone up a little bit as well about driving safely, but yeah, so anyway, don't forget to click the subscribe button, the little notification bell as well, and there'll be new videos coming soon, lots more photography with the Rx10 Mark IV and the A7R4 as well. I'll see you soon.